Yes, team. So a bit of a life update from me, myself and I. So last week, we officially launched the Built Different coaching program, and I left direct fitness coaching for good, which is, well, mad. Mad to say out loud, to say the least. And I guess anyone who's followed this channel will know just how passionate I am about mental performance, which is what my one-on-one coaching is now going to be all about. Coach Creator hit 100 course sales, which, well, I'm phenomenally grateful for, and I didn't even expect that by the end of the year. So to hit that, considering in August, is unbelievable. And Kez, the wonderful lady behind the camera, has now moved to Dubai as well, which basically means I've got my content now on tap. And I'm also trying to convince her to move across into the same apartment building so I can, well, mither even more than I already do. And finally, I've set myself a goal, which I haven't done in a little while, to be fair, and that's to get back into photo shoot condition, but also hit new performance targets, specifically around the watt bike, the row machine, and the ski erg, which are all hideous pieces of kit. But the two obviously very, very different goals. One being physique based, and obviously one being performance. And anyone who'll know who's been through like a fat loss transformation before, you'll know why I'm a little bit nervous about this. Because when you push for elite condition, your energy is, well, non-existent. Fatigue is high, hunger's through the roof. You feel like you're walking through treacle in concrete wellies. That's how it feels. So to then add performance targets on top of that is going to take me to a very different place mentally. It's going to be a very different challenge than anything I've done before. So shortly, I'm going to walk you through how I plan, plan being the word, to do exactly that. So it'll be stuff like my nutrition setup. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with a day in the life of this is what I eat meal by meal. I'll just hit the key considerations around like the macros. Then number two will be the training volume and the frequency, because naturally my output is going to be so much higher and the goals are now very much split. So I need to make sure I don't run myself into the ground. So that needs to be factored in. And then recovery protocols as well, which to be honest is pretty simple. Now I don't use PDs. It's going to be sit in an ice bath until the nipples fall off and then do that probably 3 times a week and then that'll have me sorted. And then after I've run through that, we're going to be heading to the gym to have a session with the client Matt, and then I'm being roped into some form of hybrid session with the head of strength and conditioning at WellFit. So I have no idea what that's going to entail. But first, before we go and train, I want to break down some of this nutrition, training, recovery stuff on the whiteboard. One, because I love talking all things about science and training. And secondly, I've got a new whiteboard, so it gives me a perfect excuse to, talk about education. So next up, we'll talk all things education, and then we're going to go straight to the gym. Right, some random words, but I have not done a lot of whiteboard content, so I was debating, shall I try and write out and actually speak through at the same time? And I actually haven't got that level of skill acquisition that I can multitask right now, so I'm just writing them out already. So energy systems are the first one. That's the first consideration. If you're trying to program for performance, you need to understand energy systems. And I don't mean when I say energy systems, like what is the food that you've just eaten before you're training? Like, yeah, circulating blood sugar does help, but it's more about how does your body produce and metabolize the actual food and obviously the energy that we use. So for me, there's 3 different energy systems we want to look at. There's the adenine triose phosphate, ATP, which is why we have creatine. There's anaerobic pathways, which is more based around the hypertrophy training. So these are the 2 systems, so ATP and anaerobic, that we would have been used to in more bodybuilding style training. And this is the one that I'm trying to build at the minute, which is my aerobic capacity, which is more orientated towards like mitochondrial efficiency of how fast can you produce ATP over extended periods of time, which is something that I'm not that efficient in right now. So it's more about like endurance, which is what I'm trying to build alongside these 2. And why it's important, you just got to consider which energy system are we actually going to be using. And based off that, it impacts how we recover and obviously how we program as well. But you want to make sure you're using all of these 3 energy systems so you can obviously increase the efficiency of how we actually work. Then I want to talk about carbohydrates, because in an ideal world, like I said, I could just eat all the carbs in the world and you probably perform better, of course. But because I'm trying to stay lean, the big thing I want to take away from here is if you're trying to get leaner, across the week, you've still got to be in a net deficit. That's the key. However, if you just have low carbs all the time, are you really going to be able to perform? Probably not. So the goal is a net deficit across the week with a little spikes throughout the week around our sort of more intense training days, so high carbohydrate days. So for me at the minute, that's looking like 2 days per week on my more endurance-based days. And I actually have these carbs the night before, because when we look at carbohydrate timing, we need to look at, yes, the carbs we eat before, obviously, the session, they are important. It's going to spike insulin. It's going to drive nutrients to the cells. It's going to provide circulating blood sugar for immediate, fast twitch energy. However, when we're doing more endurance-based stuff, it's going to be very glycogen demanding. And I mean, even in anaerobic pathways as well. So when we look at that, we need to not just think about the carbs we're eating around the training window in terms of that peri-workout window. We need to look at what are the carbohydrates we're having the night before. That's probably the most important part. So now I'm putting more carbs back loading at the end of the day before my heavier sessions. Training volume is something we need to consider as well, because if you're like me and you're still hypertrophy training, and I'm still training 5 days a week with normal hypertrophy setting, I clearly can't do the same amount of training volume. It's just not possible, because if I'm expending a lot more energy across the rest of the week, then of course you ain't going to be able to recover from the same. So making sure that you're bringing down your training volume is super, super important if you're trying to look at performance, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be building muscle. I'm in a deficit. I'm trying to drop body fat. Like, all we want to think of training here is doing enough to stimulate the muscle so we don't lose muscle, but we're not over exceeding our recovery demand. And when people speak about recovery, they always think about what are the best recovery tools, supplements, PEDs, all this like magic stuff. And in reality, like, you don't really need to consider that. Like, the biggest recovery tool you can do is just do less. That's the best way to improve your recovery. Just do less, like, simple as that. So this for me is now no in training intensifiers. I would usually say don't train as hard. Don't take sets all to failure. I personally just can't do that. I love training to failure. So mine is going from like 2 working sets down to 1 working set, and then removing any like unnecessary intensifiers, drop sets, rest pulls, muscle round, that kind of stuff. And then finally, I want to talk about fats, something that people don't really consider, I would say, especially in and around the training window. So I want to speak specifically about pre-workout fats, because my favorite type is having jasmine rice with coconut oil in it, because coconut oil is a fantastic source of what we call medium chain triglycerides, MCT. You can also have MCT oil as well. The reason that this is preferential, especially for sort of like high performance, is it acts in a very different way. So it bypasses the normal digestive process of fats. So essentially what that means is it's available for very fast energy, whereas fats are usually like a slow, sustained release of energy. So by having MCTs pre-workout, it's one of the fat sources we can metabolize very, very quick. And obviously as a result, we can then obviously have more energy. However, if you are doing endurance sessions, one important fact to make is if it's quite a long session and like, maybe an hour, 2 hours, very, very aerobic based, one consideration is having a mixture of fats. So having MCTs for your fast acting fats and obviously the quick digesting. And then I also like something like rice cakes and almond butter. So that combination, because fats naturally slow down digestion. And what that is going to do is stabilize your blood sugar. So you have sustained energy and stable blood sugar throughout the course of the training. So typically for those long sessions, having a mixture of fats for both faster acting energy and then slower releasing to stabilize blood sugars is the way that I'd set it up. But that's just to kind of give you an understanding of like what considerations have I got to make moving from, I've not bodybuilded for a long time, but more of a hypertrophy, just physique related goal to now having performance and physique related goals, because it is different. And obviously it's making me think a little bit more, because I've been this for like 10 years when it comes to bodybuilding. I know exactly how my body works, but this time it's very different, because when you're trying to manage performance and obviously physique-based goals, you have to tie those two together very synergistically. And that is the challenge. Whether or not I'll be able to do it, I don't know, but there's only one way to find out. No, you're not. No, because I will do one of the rounds running. One. I'm not doing on all 3.
Yes, you are. Oh, look, I'm putting your favorite thing. You like a C2 or an assault bike?
C2.
Okay.
Can we not compromise it?
This is fair compromise.
No, one run.
Okay, we good? We good.
So you're not changing?
No, I'm not. Okay, sled pull.
No, bloody
Run on every round.
walking lunges. You do walking lunges wrong though. They bang the knee on the floor, don't they?
We are in my local stomping ground, which is Wellfit. And I mean, I don't really know how I've got dragged into this, but Matt basically has stitched me up with my head strength and conditioning coach, which I thought we were going to do some weights. And it's actually turned out to be some, well, I don't even know what. It's called Beefcakes Do Hyrox today.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what we're doing, but you're gonna talk us through what is the setup of the session going to look like.
Well, ultimately, let's not forget, like I think it was before your birthday, you did say you wanted to do a Hyrox session. So let's just put it
I
this
said not a full cardio. I said let's do some weights and add a little bit of Hyrox.
This
I
is
have
your
turned
birthday
up,
workout.
And my running, I said no running. Every station now has running.
Well, I
Every
asked
station.
that. I was like, should we run or should we not run? And he was like, Joe wouldn't want to run. I was like, so we should run. But we're doing it together. And this is part of your birthday gift. So it looks really nasty. Well, because it is, but we're going to be working together as a team of 3. So all the runs are going to be together. But when it comes to the station work, we're going to circle around this and rotate until we complete the machine and the movements. So we'll get one working on the ski, one working on the lunges, one resting, and then whoever goes from ski will go to lunge, lunge, rest. Rest goes to the machine, and we'll rotate until we're complete with this part. Then we go back into the run. Same concept and format for the second portion with the rower and the burpee broad jumps. After that, run again, your favorite. This is where we negotiated bike and sled pull. But at this point, your legs are already semi-gone.
Yeah.
And then last station is back to the run, different bike. So here we're doing the assault bike for 50 calories. The farmer carry should be heavy. We can just switch every, I would say, quarter of a length instead of like half a length or one full rotation.
So I think the biggest lesson for me and you, certainly, I mean, I don't know if you've done a lot of Hyrox, is actually pacing yourself. Like our concept of training hard is a guarantee we will come out on the top. He'll be fucking sprinting his first 300 meters. I'll be trying to hit a fucking world record on the skier. I'm thinking 10 men. And then I'll come to the second station and I'm like, do you know what? I'm ready to go home. My heart rate's at 190. So I think that's going to be the hardest thing for us is that change of perception of you don't just need to train to failure. Like you need to actually learn to pace yourself. That's the thing that I'm finding hardest with endurance. I have no ability of concept of pace. I only know 0, 100, not a lot in between. So that's where I need you to be like, just chill. You've got 4 stations left.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, let's say this whole thing is about, I would say 70 minutes, being generous. But there is a way of getting it under because ultimately things do get easier in a sense if you're pacing right. So this first part would take about 10, 12 minutes at a nice, comfortable, steady pace where you're breathing and then you're breaking things up from the get-go. And then obviously each part is gonna cut shorter in time period. So probably 60, 65, as long as you don't gas out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, the whole point of this is just to push yourself mentally. Like at the end of the day, that is what it's all going to be. Very, very different to bodybuilding training. Like when I've been doing the more endurance stuff, sticking with the level of lactic acid threshold for that long and oxygen depth, it's a completely different mentality. In a set of 1 minute long in training, you don't really tell yourself to tap out the same. Whereas this, I'll probably spend 50 out of the 60 minutes saying, don't stop, don't stop. And that's all you've got to say in your head. So it's going to be interesting, but we will see what happens. Is this classed as high intensity?
Get on when you guys are ready.
I'm going to go with high intensity interval training.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
So at this moment, I regret wearing TNs.
What was that?
No idea. Oh, my knees, man.
You got 2 left.
Yep.
How many calories did you do? 125? 263. 40 calories left. Above 1,000, above 1,000. Come on. 2,000 now. Get to 2,000, you don't stop.
start at 10 again. Or 8 and then build up your pace. Okay, let's go.
First round down.
Okay, go.
We're 1 round in. We're 172 beats per minute average. But 145 now. Fucking rapid. Mad. 100 cow row. It's...
Okay, take a break before you start the burpees.
Oh.
Yeah, I did one, you did one. How much did you make?
I know, 1 leg.
1 leg.
Just getting started, unfortunately.
Joe, we finished it.
What?
We finished it.
Oh. 30 left, 10, 10, 10 each. Let's go. Halfway. 2, let's go. Everything.
Okay, fine. Just remember everything you said at the start about pacing. Being smart. Train smart, not train hard. Nice, 1 more. Easy.
20 seconds, job done. 10 cows in bag.
Last 2 blocks. Now I would say we're gonna feel it. All legs.
Ready?
Okay, go.
Go on, Matthew. User error. That's what it is. Right.
C2 bike.
You stuck our weights on. Did really good.
Okay. No, squat up, walk. Can you at least for once listen and implement what I tell you to do?
How do I do it though?
Squat up, open up your hips and walk back after you open your hips. Walk back. Like, yeah, there.
That's well easier.
You're welcome.
Isn't it?
On the last one.
Yeah, we've done fucking half of that.
I've got to do 4.
Oh, you be sound.
You just need to do 1 lap there.
Get over it.
Okay, finish it. Finish it.
I thought you said that, do 75.
Yeah, total.
Oh, total?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you do that.
Oh, thank you so much. Well done.
No. Done that. No, I fucking did it.
Wait, I did some as well. Last block.
15.
Okay.
Yeah?
It's not the last round though. Just keep it in
Oh,
mind.
did you do it last round?
I was doing.
Do it next round.
I was running at 12:13. Oops, sorry.
We'll do it next round. Did you want me to use heavier, these?
It's up to you. Okay, Joe, just stop there.
Hold 85. Come on, Matt. Do another one for good luck. We did another half for good luck. We'll give you good luck, that.
Oh, it's because you went once on the armor. Done. Easy. How many minutes? Nice. That was actually good. We kind of were like rough at the first one, but then we cleaned it up. Like rest and work transition. Because we didn't give him enough bike, that he's making up for the lack of bike work. How much left? I was like, we're doing 75. I got on the bike for like 40 seconds. And then it was up to, he was gonna continue to 75. I was like, bro, that's it. He was like, oh, I thought you meant as in I do. I was like, never mind. Yeah.
Should go fast. No, right? What was that whoop?
Oh, my watch has died. It's the only reason I did it. Wanted to get to 180.
Oh. Put the form out. I don't know. I won't ask him that. When did you tell? And he went, oh, we don't need forms anymore.
My watch died.
Nice, bro.
Good job.
Good job.
You did really well on the runs.
Yeah.
You just not listening to me.
He even said this to the camera, goes, main thing we need to do is pace ourselves. We're on the fucking skis, like, come on back. 2,000 watts. I was like pacing myself.
Chill on the last 4 calories so you have energy to run. Nope. It's like, oh, you know what? All of Joe's clients, beware. Your coach doesn't take his own advice.
I do always say that. I say, do as I say, not as I do.
That was funny. I needed that.
Yeah, no, that was
10
really good.
minutes. Lasts longer than microwave minutes. Fucking long. Let's sign up for a Hyrox, Matt. Good one session now. You just have to think it's brain training, Matt. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, we actually really did good.
For the amount of times that I've give Hyrox criticism, I was actually surprised at how much I did enjoy it. Is it true that Hyrox stands for hybrid rockstar?
Yes, let's not talk about that part. That just ruins everything. I mean, hybrid in the sense, I would agree. The fact that you could do multiple disciplines, you don't have to be the jack of all trades, but to be able to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I'm for it. I think that essentially is what leads you for longevity. And longevity is our key to health. I would say yes, today you've proven yourself as a hybrid athlete.
Is that what I was turning up for? Did I need to prove myself? Or was that why I was passing the test? I didn't know I came for a test.
I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just all talk thing.
I'm not all Instagram captions.
And I was like trying to, get you guys to freak out by saying like it's a 70-minute session, putting your expectations.
We did it in 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So that way that you would push. And I think essentially the nice thing about doing like a team workout is that it gives you that extra push that, no, I could do a little bit more to help my partner rest a little bit extra, to help us finish a little bit faster. But yeah, one thing, let's say out of all of the stations that we did, which was the hardest transition?
Anything that requires coordination for me. That's the problem. Like when you come from a bodybuilding discipline, everything's like linear planes. It's like this, it's like this, it's like this. So like get me to do a fucking burpee broad jump. I don't even know how to coordinate my hands and my feet together. Do you know what I mean? I'm not
Joe
used
was
to
running away, okay?
I'm not
I
used to
kept
this.
looking for him, like, where's Joe? And he was going the other way. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do a few extra meters.
Yeah, I'm not the best student. I'm a bit of a know-it-all in that sense.
Yeah, you can rewind and check the footage of him not listening to the coach.
I want to ask you, what do you think about when it gets hard? When you're in them like last 10 calories? What's the one thing that you think about that gets you through?
Notice is I zone out and then I just focus on my breathing.
Yeah.
I listen to my breathing and I make sure that I can feel my breathing as I'm moving.
Yeah.
And that gets me that extra power.
Do you talk, because obviously there's a huge disconnect with some people. Some people speak negative talk. Give an example of Goggins. When you're in that moment and you're like, come on, you stupid bitch, keep going, you're not quitting.
That's also me,
Or
by the way.
do you talk the other way, you're like, you've got this, you can keep going, keep doing it?
I have both.
Both.
I have both. I leverage both when I need it, but when I find myself unable to catch my breath, I mean, I have anxiety as well, so I panic easily. But getting that point of like shutting one side of my brain, which is that negative self-talk, and then just like trying to focus and switch that whole perspective into, okay, don't think about mentally or physically how you feel. Think about what are the steps that you need to do to finish this and be proud of completing it.
Have you ever heard of the anterior mid-singular cortex?
You told me about this.
Good as Have you thought about it since?
Yeah.
So this is part of the brain that you can actually develop, part of your brain that you can hypertrophy like a muscle. The more that you lean into things that you don't really want to do, that are hard, that are challenging, that push you out your comfort zone, the more you can physically atrophy or hypertrophy that part of your brain. So that part of your brain grows. When I'm in them horrible places, just like I'm in a horrible fucking leg press set, this is going to grow your legs. This is going to grow your legs. On the inverse, now I'm like, this is going to grow your brain. This is hypertrophy. Every time you do this, the next time you do it is going to be that bit easier. I think your subconscious is always going to lean into comfort. We as humans are evolutionary mechanisms. We are designed to seek comfort because that's where we feel comfortable. That's where safety is. Like when you're in them hard moments, everything in your brain and body is telling you to get away from that. Whereas you've obviously got to go against every evolutionary thing to say, no, lean into that pain, lean into it, lean into it. And I think that's the big difference.
You know also what helps? Listening to the people around you.
I don't listen to the coach.
Yeah.
I do need to actually, because she gave me one tip and I was like, oh my God, that's so much easier.
On the last rep.
It took till the last rep they actually listened. Her tonality changed. It was a good session.
Enjoyed it.
We're actually going to get more in. We are going to get more in.
Yeah.
But that is a absolute wrap for today. But I actually am going to do more of this. When you start something new, you always kind of lean away from it. You always feel a bit apprehensive. Maybe that's just because I'm so stuck in my ways. But every time I've tried something new, when I started running last year, when I started kickboxing, now when I've started doing more hybrid training, I put it off for so long. And then when I actually do it, I actually really enjoyed that. It's just a whole different level of stimulus. So I guess that is a nice thing to finish on. Don't be afraid to just try something new. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you don't like it and you don't do it again. So what? But lean into those new things. It brings you to new people I never would have spoke to otherwise. This is the first session we've ever had. I only met her last week and it's like we've had a great session and we'll probably continue to do so. So it's not even just the traits it brings out and the fitness side of things. It's the network of people that you expose yourself to and you start separating. Because obviously when I've been in a bodybuilding environment, I've had the same people, the same conversations. It isn't bad. But at the same time, like if you do want to broaden your horizons and expand that network, it is really, really nice to obviously meet new people from different walks of life. It's an amazing place to be. But anyway, peace out. Need to get a shower. At least I've got no post-workout Stairmaster to do today. Winning.